problem to me.
Well, it's not to me, it's not a problem. Like, to me, being charitable culturally is not a problem. It's like what you should.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Please like the video and subscribe. Our target is only 1,000 likes. So entrepreneur and motivational speaker Wallo is making headlines after a recent viral clip featuring his comments on the idea of black-owned businesses. During a recent panel discussion, the podcaster, whose real name is Wallace Peoples, shared his perspective on supporting businesses within the black community, suggesting that he would not support a black business just based on race. Rather, he would spend money on quality, emphasizing that a business should be evaluated based on its good or bad quality rather than its affiliation with any community or race. Then saying that support should be earned through quality and consistency.
Motivational speaker Wallo was speaking at a panel over the weekend, and he had this to say about black businesses.
Oh, I'm black. No black people. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Kill that shit. Ow. Either you got a good business or you don't. All that shit, don't nobody want to hear that shit. That's a hustle. Support me because I got a black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material your shit good? Come on. Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people? No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah. Fuck about what color you is. I'm gonna spend my money. That paper, I'm gonna spend them deals where the fuck I want to spend it at. Whether it's Porsche, Ferrari, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do while I'm here. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, I ain't gonna be finessed off some black shit. But one thing about it, 70% of you motherfuckers is not going to make it. I'm not no motherfucking fake ass motivational speaker that talk this dumb shit. I'm the number one nigga in the country. You know why? Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary. I make millions and I make millionaires, baby.
I'm hoping that I disagree with everything he said. Let me just put that straight up. I'm hoping that there's more context to it because I'm trying to understand where this came from and why. Like, I don't understand him screaming at an audience and basically almost saying black businesses aren't shit.
Okay, so he's a very passionate guy. So when Wallo speaks, he's a very passionate guy.
I'm a passionate person too.
That's probably why he was screaming.
I'm a passionate person too.
You are.
But it basically sounded like he was saying, and this is my first time listening to it, that he was basically saying, black businesses ain't shit. And don't expect me to lift your shitty black business up. I understand if he's speaking in terms of you can't expect your business to be successful by only saying I'm a black owned business and therefore because you are black, you need to support my black owned business. If that's what he means, I understand that. But the way that he's yelling in this context and basically saying, I'm not going to support you just because you're black. I feel like when people say support black owned businesses, that's not what they're asking for.
Okay. You want me to say something? I'm listening to you.
This is all I have. This is my first time listening to it. I didn't listen to this. I didn't hear this before. It sounds to me this clip sounds so anti-black. And it so seems to me to miss the whole movement around support black businesses. It's, hey, sometimes for me, for example, I sat on this podcast one time and I was like, I don't know the list of black businesses out there that are at Target or at Walmart when we were talking about DEI and we were talking about Tabitha Brown and we were having that. And then people flooded me with, hey, there's an encyclopedia or kind of a Bible of black businesses and how you can support them and find them. They're not saying, when I listen to this, it just sounds so anti-black. The whole movement is, hey, you might not be aware that you can get these same products from black businesses and you can support and uplift them because they might not have the marketing the same way. They might not have the money or the capital. They might not have the support in the same way some of these white-owned businesses that we're more familiar with do. So support these black-owned businesses, not just because they're black, but because they have legitimate and quality products. When I listen to Wallo, right, it sounds like he's anti that.
Okay. So I'm gonna choose to view this in the most charitable way possible, and that's because, which is the whole point.
It's just a problem to me.
Well, it's not to me, it's not a problem. Like, to me, being charitable culturally is not a problem. It's like what you should do. It's essentially like what you're talking about. You're talking about chances, giving chances. And that's what doesn't happen for black people. Let's start with a different story.
Right.
Let's start with the story of a white man. You heard of Jeff Bezos? Bezos? You know who that is?
Yes.
He just sent Gail to space, and Gail did not look like she had a great time up there. Shout out to Gail.
She came back.
She came back, and Gail looked like that was a rough ride. For Gail. It looked like a rough ride for Gail. Do you know how Amazon was started? Donnie looked this up.
Did he get a loan?
He went around and asked for a bunch of money.
Okay.
And I think he was able to raise from friends and family around $300,000 to start Amazon. Now, Jeff Bezos and Amazon, their success has to do with an incredible business model and an incredible finger on the pulse of how people want to get goods and services. However, Jeff Bezos was able to start Amazon because Jeff Bezos is white. And being white meant that he had access to capital and access to resources that a lot of black people don't have. We've talked about on this podcast the wealth gap between black people and white people.
For sure.
Black people and a lot of other people, which means that if you want to start your business, if the bank doesn't give you the money for whatever wacky idea that you have or visionary idea that you have, then you'd have to raise it from people. And raising it from people is going to be a lot harder if the network of people that you are raising it from don't have the same access to capital that you do. Right. So if you were around in 1992 or 19 and you wanted to start Amazon, would you be able to raise the $300,000? I watch the show all the time, The Food That Made America. And something always happens in these amazing stories of people developing these incredible food brands and the men who made America and all of that stuff. Somebody has an idea and then they have access to capital. The W.K. Kellogg guy actually stole the idea from his brother who ran a sanitarium in Battle Creek, Michigan. But there's a part of the story that is always, to me, super important. He had that idea for grape nuts or cornflakes or whatever it was, and then he went and was able to raise money, get a loan to start his company. And I think if I'm a black man in 1901, 1905 in Battle Creek, Michigan, and I see that they're doing grape nuts or cornflakes or whatever, can I go to a bank at that time and then get a loan from the bank to start my business? Probably not.
Right.
Fucking slave, get back to Alabama where there's shit in the water. Right? So what we have to spend with each other is solidarity. That's our greatest wealth. Our greatest wealth as black people is solidarity. That's the number one form of riches that we have. It's the fact that we care about each other. There is no form of payment that means more than that for us. Yeah. Because the wealth that we should have had in this country was systemically stolen from us. We were burned out of it. We were swindled out of it. And we didn't have access to it in the first place because of our enslavement. So the riches that you give to other people as black people is your love and support. That's the number one form of riches that we have. And sometimes you have to support people in the idea of what they want to be. You have to support where they want to go. Yeah. And you can't just support what they are. Because if you just would have supported Jeff Bezos in 1992, you'd have been supporting somebody in their garage with a telephone and a printed out Amazon sign in the back that say they want to sell books to the entire world. And it doesn't seem like you're going to make your money back in supporting that. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's going to be Jeff Bezos, and I'm not saying that you don't need to have clean restaurants. I'm not saying that you don't need to do. What I am saying, though, is the fact that we don't have the same resources to support each other by and large that other groups do. The number one way we can support each other is with support. I got this t-shirt from the blackest CO, Brooklyn Tea, Black tea place in New York, the Black Farmers Box in Houston, organically sourcing stuff from farm and then giving you farm to table different stuff. All of these places are places that you can go support. Go support them. Support the Nina Parker collection.
Right.
Nina Parker's clothing line. All of these things. Your support and doing a little bit. I'm sorry, you owe that.
So
you owe each other.
So you don't agree with what he said?
So, of course not.
Okay.
Like you owe each other. Now, once again.
So I don't care about how passionate he said.
Well, you have, I mean, he's a passionate guy, but what I'm saying, he's wrong. People can be wrong. Like, you don't know. You owe each other. Mm-hmm. You are Black. You owe each other.
Yeah.
I work for a white corporation. Mm-hmm. I work for a corporation that's white, and I get paid by them to do a service for them. The way that I show that I care about what's happening in the Black community is to prioritize smaller Black businesses that can use this platform to elevate themselves.
Mm-hmm. Like our coasters.